settle up here real quick. Oh, I should probably grab my mouse. This stuff can all get edited later. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you for the second podcast of Neandertalk.
It's just kind of cool, right?
I like it a lot.
So you want to put basically put your nose on top of this.
Yeah.
Turn your mic. Go like this. There's a sweet spot.
Right there.
Keep going. Keep going. Twist the whole mic. Yeah.
There it was.
Okay, yeah.
I got it.
And then you want to keep
Your nose on it.
yeah, kind of like Rogan does the same thing. If you notice, he's completely alike. Anyways, thank you for being here, everybody. This is episode 2 of Neandertalk podcast. And this is cool.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I wanted you to be on the podcast, not just because you're a buddy of mine.
Right.
But I wanted to discuss your whole bow hunting. So Barnard here is brand new into bow hunting, right?
Brand new. First year was the last year.
And I wanted to just kind of discuss how did you honestly, we haven't really even talked about this. We went on an awesome camping trip trip that we can get to later, but we never really discussed hunting really.
No.
I mean, we discussed what we did that day and how the hunt was going, but
dude, hunting is just awesome.
Isn't it?
It's consuming. Very consuming.
When you go all in.
All in. No, nothing left out. No money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're in. You're all in.
It's not cheap to get started, is it?
No, it sucks.
But it's it's an investment because you spend a lot of money up front, but that stuff you can pass down.
Oh yeah.
The bow I got 4 or 5 years ago. It's still top of the line as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And when my son's old enough to shoot 50 pounds, I can give it to him. It's still gonna be an incredible bow.
Yeah. My son's left-handed. That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's there's no passing down.
That's right. It's just more money. Right. So how did you get started? What got you really interested in it? I mean,
well, obviously, you got me hooked on Joe Rogan.
Right.
And then he started talking about all the bow hunting, and you're like, oh, yeah, you should try it.
Right.
Come on out. We'll try it.
Right.
I'm like, okay. So I tried it, and I was just hooked ever since.
Yeah, you had that. You did have a bow, your first bow.
Oh, yeah, my Walmart Eagle. Golden Eagle.
How old was that thing? Because we just started this
at least 20 years old.
That's insane.
At least 20 years old.
You remember shooting that thing? How?
Yeah, it was terrible. And when I first got it, though, I was like, this thing's awesome.
It probably was awesome when you first got it. I mean, that was compound bows haven't been around for super long. You should see my first bow. It's incredible.
Is it nice?
No, it's Dukes of Hazzard. It's the same bow that they used in Dukes of Hazzard. That's how old it is.
Nice.
It's really cool. I don't have it here today, or else I'd bring it out and show you. It's pretty cool.
You should put a General Lee flag on the table.
A what?
General Lee flag.
Oh. No, that's not my thing.
You get harassed.
This is not my thing.
Yeah.
Never been a Confederate flag fella.
Yeah, well, different folks.
We're right on the line, though, aren't we?
We are on the line.
I mean, Missouri.
Missouri.
I say Missouri.
No, I say Missouri. It's not Missouri.
If you're born and raised,
that's only a politician. Missouri.
What about more we're a sophisticated Missourians, but when you go that? Right? You ever go?
Yeah, there is such a thing, I guess. Yeah.
Come on, you've been to some rural, coming down in the Ozarks area.
Oh yeah, there's some hillbilly towns.
These Missouri.
Those are
limbs that are Missouri folks, and they really
Missouri. Yeah, this could be Missouri folks.
Show me, you show me this. Show me state, boy. This Missouri.
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Yeah, that must have been where it came from. Where did show me?
That makes no sense at all.
Show me what? Surely we could Google it someday and.
I don't know.
Show me.
I always got it from Show Me Your Tits at down at Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh, Party Cove?
Party Cove. There was always a flag on somebody's boat that says "Show me your tits."
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been down to Party Cove. I've heard it's pretty good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's if you're 20.
Well, what if you don't mind looking at 20-year-old
Well,
whiskeys down? Like they got whiskey that's 20 years old, right?
yeah, that's probably okay then.
No. Yeah, that really
looking.
wouldn't be my thing.
As
Like
long as you're just looking.
I would get anxiety in something like that.
It's because you have nothing in common with a 20-year-old.
No, not that. The fact that being in Party Cove with like all those boats, just dirtiness and jumping in the water, like
people peeing in the water. It's all it is a big cesspool, pee and poop.
Yeah, that's
gross.
Not my style either. No matter how I was 20 once.
Nobody wants to swim in.
We went to the lake. We went to Clinton Lake in Lawrence, Kansas a lot, and we weren't trying to look for a Party Cove. We were fishing or water skiing or.
Yeah, we always went down to, up in Excelsior Springs. My grandpa had a farm up there. We always just went out there to the old farm to go fishing.
I've just had me this whole time. Here we go. Switch cameras. I wasn't even paying attention. I was so involved and invested in our one-on-one conversation, I completely forgot about the camera here. Oh yeah. So anyways, like I was saying, like I would get anxious if I was like just surrounded by that many people in water like that. Which brings us, I don't know, back around to hunting, which is the opposite of anxious when you're sitting all by yourself in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know. I get pretty anxious, man.
Do you?
Oh, dude. I get up there and just start. I don't know that it's really anxious. I think it's more of a just wanting to see something. I just want I want an opportunity. That's all.
Anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just up there just ready. You feel like you're
the whole time too.
Oh yeah.
And if you're an optimist, it's definitely like, I just know any minute. It takes they come out of nowhere, so you just know.
And that squirrel that you heard over there, that's definitely a deer.
And the squirrel you heard over there. And the squirrel you hear, 20 minutes later, squirrels. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There gets to a point where it just frustrates. Like you want to I've started bringing small game broadheads just for squirrels.
They're so loud.
I'm going to shoot them. If they get within me, I'm shooting them. I'll bring them back to camp and we'll cook them up.
Yeah, why not?
Squirrel's delicious.
Maybe if you live in Missouri.
Have you ever had squirrel?
No.
It's really good. You know me, I'm an adventurous eater. Like
I would probably never eat squirrel.
Really?
I've always heard it's greasy.
Why not find out for yourself if it's greasy or not?
I would try it.
Come on, I made some pretty good food when we were on our trip, right?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. From now on, I'm buying. You're frying.
You would, but based on that, wouldn't you trust me to cook up some good squirrel?
I'd eat some squirrel.
Yeah.
Maybe not. It'd definitely have to be in something. I don't know if I'd just pick it right off the bone and eat it, but.
Well, I'd like pan fry it.
Yeah.
And just
that'd be tasty.
Put some flour, egg, roll it in some egg and some flour, some good seasoning.
Egg covers up so much.
Yeah, and the good seasoning.
Yeah.
And then just pan fry with a little bit of oil on top of our little Coleman stove that we had there.
Yep. That was fantastic. I was just thinking about that trip on the way up here.
I think about it, I don't want to say daily, weekly.
Yeah.
Multiple times a week I think about that trip.
Oh, it's so good. Just because the environment was so perfect for deer.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've got to see some deer. I'm going to see deer.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
And it's one thing to like kind of go hunting around the city when you have like a 20-minute drive back home and you see house after house and well-developed roads and street signs and all that stuff. Isn't it completely different when you're in the middle of, this is in the middle of BFE, Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Like near Iowa, near Nebraska. Like it's nothing
It's just fields is all it is.
Fields and like gravel roads and if you're lucky, a paved road that's got a lot of holes in it.
Yeah. Just jack your car up.
Yeah.
Big time.
But it's just completely different. Like hunting's still awesome even if you're 20 minutes outside the city. Mm-hmm. But doesn't it feel even more like special when you're even further away?
Yeah, it does. It feels like like you have an opportunity to shoot like a trophy buck. That's what it feels like.
Or even just see one.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff on TV. It's like
That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like you're on a TV show and you're like, oh yeah, trophy buck out here. I'm gonna get one.
Yep. No problem.
No.
No problem. They're everywhere out here.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They're asking to be shot.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so way back to the beginning, why did you get involved with like hunting? Like, so you were saying that like me talking about it, but like the Joe Rogan show and Joe Rogan's always talking about it. Was that like kind of the big thing that made you say I'm interested? And
yeah, that and you were talking to me about how just exhilarating it was, and how much fun and prep time there was, and I like doing things that take a lot of prep time.
Yeah.
Like food plots, things like that. Those kind of things interest me, like doing food plots and any kind of land management that you can do makes me want to get out there and do it.
Well, especially because you've got access to a lot of land. Well, what, 100 acres?
140 acres.
140 acres.
Yeah, but it's all crop fields. You've seen it.
Right.
It's all crop fields. There's hardly any wilderness.
Yeah.
Like timber.
But it's nice to be able to have that option. Be like, oh, hey, I'm going to go do a food plot this year.
Yeah. I'm definitely doing one this year. Well, I wouldn't say definitely. I got to get stepdad.
A little permission.
Yeah.
Not exactly your property, but.
Yeah. Stepdad.
Yeah. And for those out there that don't know like what a food plot is, that's kind of, would you consider it cheating or just
upping the odds?
Upping the odds. I like that.
I wouldn't say it was cheating.
I wouldn't say it's cheating either.
It's not illegal.
You're correct.
Definitely not illegal.
And you're not like in a zoo where there's a high fence surrounding these deer. These are wild animals.
Sure.
So basically, a food plot is a giant garden.
It's a deer garden.
That's exactly what it is.
It's a deer garden.
And they get all the benefits, and they don't have to do any of the hard work. They just show up and eat.
They just show up.
And every now and then, one has to sacrifice itself for the good of the herd.
It's kind of like ancient times. And
I was just thinking.
They have to sacrifice.
Yeah. Some Greek mythology type stuff going on.
Right. I'll keep feeding you, but you got to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's usually not the virgins you want in this story.
No, you want the old man.
Yeah.
The oldest one you can get.
How come you don't think, or do you think there was ever any time in civilization in any kind of weird area where they did do because we know people did human sacrifices all through human history.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there ever was a culture that sacrificed old men?
Sure.
Where they said, "Oh, the gods want him."
I'm sure there was. Yeah. Well, then why wouldn't there be? They've sacrificed all kinds of things. Like they sacrificed young virgins.
But that's what I'm saying. You always hear it's like the young virgins that get the sacrifice. You never hear about the old man. You think there's a culture?
Saggy, bald old man.
Yeah. I guess you have to, when you're sacrificing. I guess because you're sacrificing. I guess it's not too.
Well, if
you're, I guess you could spin it. If you're sacrificing the old dude, you're sacrificing all that knowledge he has.
Right.
You could spin it that way.
Yeah.
But then, don't men usually run tribes and stuff like that? They'd be like, "Uh-oh, this could be us one day. Let's get the."
Yeah, they would say that's a no-go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I wonder. Back to the virgin.
Oh yeah. It's just funny to think if that had ever happened. Anyways,
I'm sure they've tried it. Those old religions try that and they'll try anything.
Religions or tribe, just crazy cannibalistic tribe type.
Like the old Mayans.
Who knows? Even older than that. Who knows how old it goes? They're finding old, incredibly old people all the time.
Yeah. I went to Mexico. I don't know. It's probably 15 years ago. Went to those old ancient pyramids.
Which ones?
I can't remember which ones it was. It was down by
Chichen Itza or something?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But we went down there and saw the pyramids, and we saw the sacrificial altar that they had.
How creepy is that?
It was really creepy. They had it like caged off to where you couldn't go in and like get near it and touch it.
How close did you get to it?
7 feet, 8 feet.
Oh, so you're close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
What? It's made out of stone?
It's just a stone.
Is it like blood stained? Is it like kind of?
No, it wasn't any.
Maybe
blood stained.
Maybe it got washed off throughout. How old is that place?
Thousands of years old.
Huh. Was it impressive? Like, I imagine going to the pyramids in Egypt, you'd be like, holy cow.
It was very impressive.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, you're standing on ancient pyramids that those people built. You're like, you just think back and you're like, wow, how'd they build this?
Really?
Yeah. It's huge.
I wonder how many people lived in that time, like in that area, whatever the.
A lot.
Like thousands and thousands.
Had to have.
How big was the pyramid? Like the grounds, like I don't know, the village and stuff. Do you know?
Yeah, I would say it was a good 15-acre lot that was just a big square.
Wow.
Of the actual pyramid, and then they had like this other thing that they did, like I can't remember what they called it. It was some kind of ancient game they played, but the winner was sacrificed.
Yeah. Was that like the one where they have like it's kind of like basketball but different?
And
there's like there's like a weird, but it's like a hoop, like not like a basketball hoop, but like turn a basketball sideways, and you have to get.
And they hit it with their hip. And they bounced it up on that wall, and the winners that were sacrificed.
Insane.
I couldn't imagine. And the actual hoop is probably 20 feet up. It's not easy by any means.
Do you think they just took turns doing like free throws, or do you think it was it at first it sounds like it would be like a lacrosse type game, or
I don't
basketball, know. But probably if you're trying to sit there and hit like a hacky sack size ball or bigger, like how big?
No, it was like a soccer ball size.
Oh,
ball.
okay.
And they were trying to bang it through this hoop that's on the side of the wall.
I wonder how they know that they had to use it with their hips. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like any culture would decide that would be the game. Surely, throughout entire human history, they know to use either their feet or their hands to do.
Yeah. Say that's a loser using your hip.
It's not practical at all.
No, it's not practical.
Yeah,
you're definitely losing that game.
And no, there's no winner ever. No one's ever going to score a point.
Well, that's why they got sacrificed.
Both teams. There was never a winner.
If you made it in there, it's a miracle.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I could use another beer. We should have brought those up here.
I know.
You want another one?
Sure.
Should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
All right. We'll just we'll do nothing.
Yeah.
But we'll go get out. We'll bring them up here. The way they hit them with their hips, like that's what they say.
Yeah, they say they hit them like their hip. That
doesn't make any sense to me.
Me either, but whatever. I'm not the rule maker.
Right. Welcome back. Myself. Welcome back, Barnard.
Thank you.
There we go. Oh, there's those smooth. There we go. That's the sweet spot. Oh, maybe I'm gonna hear them sweet velvety tones. Oh, maybe we should go
those
back.
Dulcet tones.
Beautiful. See, Chichenista. I think Como Barrio, Casey. I think that he'll be going down. He's going to be doing a whole trip down through. I think the Panama side. Is that the west side? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be.
I think that's what he's going to be doing. Embark on a trip down there, hitting all the different ruins, like ones you've never heard of, and just go down there and take a lot of video. He's down there right now. I talked to him this morning. He said he's about to shoot some really cool footage. He's got a really cool drone.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, and then he's just gonna do some cool video shots. And I think he's got some funny characters, like some dudes he's met. I think one dude's like a German, and the other dude is, I don't know, but he says there's some characters.
Do they all work down there too?
I really don't know what they do. I think one of them is like exchanges money. He's really big into the cryptocurrency right now. But
oh, really?
I think so, but I really don't know a whole ton about them. I just know about what he's doing and kind of what he said.
Yeah.
But that's what he's embarking on.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So okay. Me, Rogan, and the exhilaration that I told you about got you super excited about hunting.
Sure. And then so I went and bought my first bow. Bought a Diamond. Not anything spectacular, but it'll get the job done.
Good enough. I mean,
yeah.
Newer version bow, not 20-year-old thing that's about to fall apart.
It's got at least new technology on it. So.
Yeah.
So we went out, shot that for a while, got pumped up. Anything that shoots is cool. So,
yeah. True enough.
So I had to go out and shoot that. Got all amped up. Then we went. Where'd we go our first time?
Well,
out at my mom's. Out at the.
Are you talking
140 acres?
Oh, just to go shoot when we went?
No. The first time we went hunting, I took Max.
Okay.
And it was the opening day of
September 15th here in Missouri. 15th, yeah.
Bow season. Went out there, saw absolutely nothing.
Such is the case of any kind of hunting.
Yeah. I thought we were going to see something, though.
You always think you're going to.
Absolutely. He thought we were going to see something.
Oh, yeah.
He was all excited.
But he's still excited. That's the cool thing, right?
He's still excited, and he got his first bow for Christmas.
Man.
Oh,
you got to raise him right.
Yeah. We're going to have to set that poundage up a little bit, though. He's got a little, probably 35-pound draw, 30 draw.
That's enough to kill a deer.
Yeah, maybe from 20 yards, but it's got to be close.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't trust him shooting more than 20 yards anyways. When I was growing up, my dad kind of limited me to 20 yards. He's, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
When you're all by yourself. But, I mean, that's the thing. One of the things about hunting is it really, you see what kind of person and what kind of, person you are if you can follow the rules.
Yeah.
When no one's checking you or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That is true.
So he at a pretty young age, my limit was 20 yards, and I always followed that.
Yeah, that's not a bad rule. So
give that to your kid until he's like hammering. If he's like out there hammering to practice like every day,
mm-hmm.
and you can see him shooting consistently at 60 yards. Say, hey man, I see you're good at 60. Let's move your max distance at like 35 or 40.
Right. Yeah, that'd be ideal.
Yeah. It'll give him motivation to practice and get better.
Yeah.
Especially if he goes out there and if he, if he's got a good ethic inside of him when he's all by himself and he wants to follow the rules.
He's definitely a rule follower.
Is he?
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, he doesn't like to deviate. He likes structure.
Yeah.
And he likes positive reinforcement.
Nice.
So I think if I can give him those two things, he's going to be good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, then that would give him the motivation to be like, I follow rules. Dad says I can only shoot 20 yards. I would love, like last season, all the deer that I got close to were at 30 yards. If next year, if I can just practice every single day and get really good at like 40 or 50 yards, maybe Dad will let me shoot to 30 next year.
You're right.
And you give him that motivation to be really, really good and just become a better. Not only does it help him be a better hunter, which is whatever. I mean, it's like a personal journey.
Sure.
But that would help him become a better man, like as he grows up. Mm-hmm. Like to give himself a hard task to try to accomplish, and then he has to stick with those rules, and like it keeps his ethics and his morals in check all the time.
Yeah.
Because you're the only one that's going to impose it on yourself when you're in the woods.
I think a good hunter is always morally strong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what's your definition of a good hunter? Like someone that
Well,
always
yeah.
kills something, or just someone who follows the rules and does what's like does the
Somebody
right thing?
who does the right thing.
Yeah.
I think lives their life in a moral way. I think
Yeah.
because it is. I mean, you definitely have poachers and assholes out there that are shooting stuff they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But
They're
I
not.
think for
They're
the
not really
most part-
hunters.
no, they're not really hunters. They're just assholes.
Right.
But I think for the most part, people go out there, they follow the rules, they do what they're supposed to do, and maybe they got lucky. I didn't, but I tried and I learned a lot.
And then, well, again, you have to kind of curtail some of your expectations, especially bow hunting and being new.
Right.
But then I think you also have to change some of your definitions. Like, you didn't get lucky. You have to change your definition to you weren't.
I didn't take advantage of my opportunity.
Not even that. Just you didn't harvest an animal this year. But I think you were very lucky. You had the opportunity.
That's true. I think in Missouri we're very lucky with the public lands we have.
Just in America. Yeah.
Especially Missouri, though.
Yeah,
We
Missouri's
have a lot of public land.
we got a ton of like really good public land.
Phenomenal public land.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Iowa's public land.
I'd say, I bet you like statewide, our public land's better than Iowa's. Think about it, because we got like the Ozark type stuff, like Mark Twain National Forest is pretty cool, and it's huge.
And then we've got the stuff by St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean, we got all different kinds of terrain. Iowa, what does Iowa have? I don't really know, actually. I'm kind of ignorant to Iowa, but not entirely. It's not as cool of a terrain as we have.
No. I did look at Kansas public land.
Kansas has some cool public land.
Kansas has decent public land, but not as good as Missouri public land. Only because Missouri, Kansas, their out-of-state tags are so expensive.
Right.
They're $500 for a tag because you got to have the annual license too.
Right.
So, I mean, if you want to drive 35 miles over that way to go kill a deer for $500,
Oh, yeah, for us, yeah.
you could.
But, like, what about someone from, like, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I don't know.
If they're
I would
gonna
go
spend-
to Missouri. Go to Missouri.
Probably.
You're looking at the same.
If you're wanting to do a cheap public land hunt.
Definitely.
Missouri. I would
Missouri's
say
the only way to go for a cheap public land hunt.
there were a lot of out-of-staters this
'Cause-
year at the place we went hunting.
Because what is a Missouri tag? $250?
$225, I think.
Something
even.
like that? It's cheap.
Yeah. And we've got good genetics. We got some big deer around here.
We've got Iowa deer and we've got Kansas deer right here.
Yeah, we do have Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska deer.
Mm-hmm.
And
And elk.
do we have Illinois and Indiana deer?
Probably, yeah.
I think so.
Definitely. We've definitely got Illinois deer.
Arkansas deer? Got
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Got Arkansas.
Look at all the deer we got.
I don't know that they're any good or not, but
No, I don't. The further south you get,
those-
the quality seems to get a little diminished.
Yeah.
But our northern Missouri deer,
Ooh,
I love it
buddy.
up here. We're so lucky
Yeah.
as bow hunters.
That's what I'm saying. Can't get any better than Missouri public land.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, so speaking of the public land, I guess we could talk about our first public land hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was I don't know if we should. That was Crooked River Conservation
Crooked
Area
River, yeah.
up north of Kansas City, about like 45 minutes north of Kansas City proper.
Right. And it was fun.
It's cool.
Wasn't as fun as our second trip.
Yeah,
Our second trip was just phenomenal.
it was.
We didn't even get anything. It was just so fun. It was just
Well,
hanging out and doing our thing, doing deer hunting. It was fun. It was just guy stuff.
it was.
You ask the wife or the girlfriend, they would just look at you like you're retarded. Like, well, who wants to go do that all weekend?
Especially in the cold, like
Yeah.
we were doing.
Yeah, but it's so fun, man.
Yeah.
Just because you get to go out, you're outdoors. We camped outside
We'll
in
get up on that mic.
30-degree,
Like, put your nose on it. Oh, yeah.
30-degree temperature.
I thought it even got colder than that. I want to say it got like at 22 at one point.
Yeah, it was cold.
With the wind.
Very cold.
Very cold.
Enough to make us go cut firewood.
Which was part of the fun of this whole trip. I mean, deer camp, if you will, and that was just like, that was one of the more fun trips I've ever had. Like, that was awesome.
Oh, it was phenomenal. And we really didn't get that many opportunities at deer. We saw a lot. We saw some deer. I didn't see a lot, but you saw a lot.
I saw a lot of deer. I saw one big deer. I saw a couple. Yeah, I saw deer every day.
Yeah, and I
saw deer every deer driving.
Yeah, I shot at a small doe that was 58 yards away, and I had her pegged at 50. And
so funny. When I saw you pulling up, when you were getting ready to shoot, I was like, oh my gosh, he's way too far. And I wanted to honk at you, but
I was so far away.
But that was really good, like, experience for you.
That was fantastic.
The exciting thing about being a new hunter, or just being a hunter at any stage of life or experience, is the experiences that you every single season that you get.
Yeah, and you learn from.
Yeah. Learning is huge. I mean, there's quite the learning curve, and everybody's different. But the more it's just, and it's cool to have, like, the experiences you have are stories that you remember for as long as you live, probably.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to remember trying to sneak up on that doe.
Forever.
Like, we were driving. I said, oh, I think I see one over there.
Yeah.
And then we stopped, backed up a little bit, and sure enough, it was just sitting in the middle of this path. You could tell it was like an old path for, like, the conservation agents or whatever. And so I was like, hey, go grab your bow, try to put the Mohican sneak on this bad boy. Stay low,
Yeah.
And it was just from my perspective, it was really fun to watch a new hunter try to take his first deer and, like, to actually witness that. Like, I wanted you to get it so bad, but it was cool just to watch you creep up on it, watch what path you were taking. And
I took the wrong path.
I mean, you when you're brand new, you're not expected to be super patient and be like,
right.
You see it and you get excited. You're like, I want to hurry up and get there. And, like, the anxiety, the adrenaline, like, did you have some adrenaline pumping through you?
Oh yeah. I had a lot of adrenaline.
And imagine.
Then I had a dump afterwards.
Is that what the term adrenaline dump comes from?
Yeah, because I'm sitting in the passenger side just with my head in my lap.
That's right. I didn't put two and two together. But when we went, so after that experience, right after that, we went to where we were originally going, to that parking lot to go to our hunting spots, and you were like, hey, I do have to go poop.
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together.
Adrenaline
dump.
For real.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool to watch you. When I saw you pull up, I was like, oh, I knew you were really far away, but I was like, well, maybe he's just closer than I think he is.
No, I was far away.
Really far away.
58 yards.
But it was really exciting to see you pull back and just take your first shot.
I didn't have that many nerves as I thought I would.
You know why?
Well, no.
At least I think it's because we saw it. Like, we were just driving to go to our normal spot, and on our way there we saw this thing, and so we saw it, and it happened so fast. It was like, not only were we the predator, but we were the predator on the move. Like, there was no time to think. You're just going.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And, like, when you're sitting in a tree and they come, it builds up, like the anticipation builds up, because usually you're going to see the deer like 60, 70 yards away, and you see it coming, and then as you see it kind of come, like if it could go any way, but when you start seeing it come your way, that heart just starts going.
Yeah.
And then the closer it gets, boom, 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 and it even goes even faster, and it just builds. So you have all this anticipation constantly building, and then that's when the real buck fever sets in. But when the way we did it, You can see how you didn't have that in time for the anticipation to build up.
Right.
You were just just thinking to go get it right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Although when I was in my trunk, I had a little time to think.
Right.
You know, I was like, he's kind of close. I'm going to actually draw back on this thing.
It becomes real.
Yeah. And then I snuck up there and I was, you know, I didn't really think about which route I should take. You know, like after, you know, I shot, we went back and looked. And we were like, oh, yeah, you should have taken this route through here. Blah,
the
blah,
ravine,
blah.
the deeper part, yeah.
I didn't think about that when I was just, you know, I had one thing in mind, and that was putting some meat in the freezer.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking about.
Some deer. I was thinking, oh, please get close, shoot this thing. I want some deer heart tacos tonight. Fresh deer heart tacos that night would have been, oh, my gosh, so good.
Yeah, definitely. I gave her an old college try, but just wasn't going to work out with my rangefinder on the ground.
However, you got lucky.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I would consider that lucky.
Yeah.
I could have not seen anything that day.
I mean, but to actually draw back and release an arrow, I mean, that's pretty lucky. That's pretty cool.
I think so.
Yeah. I think it's really cool.
It was one of my highlights for the hunting season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Now, let me ask you, like, it'll be a long-winded question. So I took you back to where I was hunting, and it's like 2 miles back, right?
It's pretty far, yeah.
It's like
It's a jaunt.
It's about 2 miles up and down some pretty big hills. I mean, it's not Flatlanders.
It's not for fat boys.
It's not.
No, no.
You gotta be in shape.
Yeah.
Now, be honest. Had I shot something way back there?
Oh.
Would you have been prepared to help me take that out?
I would have helped you. Yeah.
I know you would have.
Would I have wanted to? No, but I would have.
Can you imagine how hard do you think that would have been?
To drag a 250-pound deer out of the
100-pound deer
woods? I wouldn't want to do it. But
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd cut it up first.
Right.
Get rid of all them guts.
Well, yeah, obviously you got it. That's the first thing you do.
Yeah, we could.
But I mean, just dragging the deer out, like if it was a big buck or something, could you really imagine?
Now here's my point.
I mean, honestly, think honestly how hard that trek really is just by ourselves. The ups and downs.
Just carrying your bow in your stand.
Imagine a deer.
This is my plug for the deer cart.
Right.
Yeah. You know, our neighbor's deer cart.
Yeah.
Hey, can we borrow that deer cart?
We would have had to.
We had
they
to.
would, and they were cool. They would have let us.
Definitely. Old Louisiana boys.
Yeah. So there's this thing that's I don't know, I'd call it a deer cart.
That's what I call it, a deer cart.
It's like a V-shaped, like
wheelbarrow.
Yeah, good way to put it.
Yeah.
With some like ties on it, and you put your deer on it, and you can drag that thing out. Some big. How tall?
It's got big ass wheels on it, tires on it.
What do you think, like 16-inch tires or something?
Yeah, so you can drag it over like timber and stuff.
Yeah, wheels. Not really tires, but like wheels, right?
Yeah.
But even then.
Oh, it's it's horsepower. You got to get behind there and pull it.
You think, yeah.
One on each side. That's the only way.
I think about it every time I go way back there. I'm like.
That's a long ways back.
That's a long ways.
It is a long ways. A lot of hills.
It's all hills.
Yeah. But it would have been worth it.
It is worth it.
I'd have done it for sure.
It is worth it.
Eating deer heart that night, no problem.
Yep.
I'll drag it.
And then sleeping in the next day because you're too sore to move.
That's right. And we got lots of firewood, so we're all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll have to get our buddy Jason Atkins on. He's a avid hunter.
Yeah, we owe him. Like, I cannot thank that guy enough. Like,
his Instagram page is phenomenal. It
is. You guys check this guy. First of all, the reason why we had such a good trip, a hunting trip, the biggest reason, don't you think the biggest reason was that tent?
Absolutely.
We would have been.
The biggest reason was that tent. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gone.
The company was awesome. Like, I loved hanging out with you the entire time.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was awesome. Like, we became friends.
But the tent.
But that tent.
Oh, the tent was on another level.
It was. I should have set it up to have the tent shown on.
Yeah, you can go back and do it.
Yeah, maybe. So this tent was like 12 by 12. You think 10 by 10, 12 by 12?
10 by 10 and 12 by 12.
12 feet by 12 feet.
It was pretty big. It may have been 15 by 15.
I'd say 12 by 12.
But it was a nice sized tent.
12.
And it had a big ceiling.
Big ceiling. Thick canvas. Kind of, not teepee-like, but kind of like if a teepee had a squarish bottom instead of round.
It was kind of like a yurt.
Okay.
Like one of those yurts.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's exactly like a yurt.
Yeah. And it had, and you guys, we went up there in November 5th.
4th. Well, no, it was like the 4th through the 7th or
something like that.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cold.
It
was pretty cold. It was average 30s, you think?
30s, 40s in the day.
Yeah, with some wind. At night, it was so cold. In the morning, it was so cold.
Mornings were really
windy and cold.
It's because there's
on top of a peak.
Yeah, up where we were camping, there was no trees.
But this incredible thick canvas yurt style thing had a stove in it.
Oh, it was so good.
It kept it so warm in there.
We were sweating.
We were sweating. It was probably 75, 80 degrees in there at some point.
It was like a sweat lodge.
I mean, it just made the trip. I mean,
it was phenomenal.
If we didn't see a single deer, it would have been worth just going just for that tent. Like, it was just awesome. We had cots.
Yeah.
We were able to cook our food inside comfortably. Made some good food, and then the stove also served as a flat iron grill.
Yep.
Yeah, we made some street tacos one night. And, put the tortillas right on top of that grill. Get them nice and hot.
So I still have them.
What?
I'll go back and make street tacos.
Oh, they're so good. And they're the easiest things to make, too.
I think about that trip, and I'm like, ooh, street tacos in the tent.
Yeah. Yeah. They just, after a day of long, not suffering, but like
very cold,
putting work in, coming back and having we had good beer that you brought some amazing beer, and paired that with just some awesome food, like in the comfort, knowing it's incredibly cold out. Like you do not want to have to go poop.
No. No, not at all.
Because there's no porta potties out there.
Mm-mm.
You find in a squat in the middle of a field or up against a tree.
In the woods.
You know, that reminds me. The sponsor to the show. The toilet that you put into the tailgate. So there's like a toilet seat welded to a trailer hitch male part,
right,
that goes in, and you just sit on the back of your truck like hovering on this toilet seat,
and you have like a bag that hangs down.
Oh, I wouldn't use a bag. I'd just let it go.
You just let it rip right there?
Well, I would put it somewhere where it's not gonna be in anybody's
what if you're
way.
in a parking lot, like in the
Well, it's hooked to your truck, so you can just drive down the road,
just back in
beep beep beep, or I could have you drive like, I don't know, 12 miles an hour as I'm holding on.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do it for you, buddy.
Well, I guess we could seatbelt you on there.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That'd be fantastic. then we could just drive you down the road. Hey, on your way there,
Yeah.
take a crap.
But so it's designed to sit with your back towards the front of the truck.
Right.
But if you did that, it would spray. If you were driving at the same time, it would spray back into your legs. So you would have to sit reverse style, like the cool kids did in high school with their crotch on the back. So you'd have to sit like that, and then you could just hold on to the tailgate, and you wouldn't need a seatbelt. And I could tell you, like, when you're water skiing and you're going faster, slower on the boat.
I'm falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But we could be back there as you're going 15 miles an hour, and I'm pooping and holding on.
Yeah.
Let's see how fast we can get 30 miles an hour.
There you go.
But then, just roll off into the ditch. No one would, you'd spread it out.
Yeah. Grab your toilet paper and wet wipes. Wet wipes are a must on a camping trip.
Wet wipes are a must on a camping trip. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't you glad I have a baby?
Yes, those were a must.
So I think if somebody could clip that commercial that we just did, I'm going to send that in to those people.
Yeah. To the
that was the absolute
trailer hitch toilet guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Anyways, so where were we? We were talking about the tent, how awesome it was with the fire
Atkins.
and Atkins, and this.
Follow that guy's page. Meat Eater.
No. Man Eats Wild.
That's right.
Awesome.
Man Eats Wild.
Isn't that a cool name? When he first told me that a while ago, like he was like, "Oh, I had just started Instagram. I was super excited about it." And talking to him about hunting, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got an Instagram." I was like, "Oh cool, what is it? I'll follow." He said, "Man Eats Wild." I was like, "Oh, dude."
Yeah.
What a great name.
Meat Eater's Ranella, isn't it?
Yeah. Stephen Rell's Meat Eater, which is that's cool too, but Man Eats Wild's a pretty dope name.
Good. Yeah.
I like it better than Meat Eater.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think the only thing cool about the Meat Eater is the logo. How he has like the M and the E different, like switched colors, so it looks.
Yeah.
I don't even have to see. I can't describe it. But yeah, follow that guy on Instagram. He's got some awesome pictures of that. Dude's an awesome cook too.
He loves that cooking. Just wild game cooking. He's good at it too. It looks phenomenal.
Have you had any of his stuff?
I haven't had anything.
He brought some barbacoa tacos in that he made.
I did have those.
Did you? Oh, so good.
Those were good.
He made a YouTube video of that too. Of that same exact. I think he did a YouTube video of that and then brought it in to work for us.
Fantastic.
Check him out on YouTube, guys. I think it's Man Eats Wild on YouTube too. He has a couple videos, but yeah, he was the one that let us borrow that tent, and
he's a big time hunter.
We're in debt to him, and
yes, we are.
You know what? I told you I was going to, and I did. I asked for off the day after President's Day.
Oh, you did?
So if I get it off,
shed hunt.
You want to go up there?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're talking about if it's okay with Atkins to borrowing his tent again.
Definitely.
As we ask him on a podcast and not face to face.
Sorry. Sorry, Jason.
But if he would let us use it again, we'd like to go up to the same place where we did our hunting trip when it's even colder now.
Mm-hmm.
Which it'll be easier and harder at the same time, I think.
Although mid-50s this week.
But up there or here? I think
here.
Up there it's going to be slightly cooler.
Yeah.
I was looking at it and worried because they got more snow than we did too.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of snow.
So I'm wondering if it didn't melt, we're not going to go up there and look for antlers. We'll never see them in the snow.
Mm-mm.
They'll be buried.
I was thinking we could do one day at our usual place and then the other day next door.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we were going to, if it was all right with him, borrow his tent again, go up there when it's freezing, literally freezing.
Yeah.
That makes me excited. Just thinking about going up there with it ridiculously cold.
But we really need to get, we need to convert that stove into an oil burning stove.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to cut all that firewood again.
I think we'd have to buy some this time.
Yeah, I'd rather just buy it.
Yeah, because it'll be wet. It'll where are we going to go cut it?
I don't know.
It'd be too wet probably. We'd have to buy some.
It would be too wet and too much effort.
Yeah.
Just to go look for sheds.
You know, well, the part of the effort is the fun that I had with our camping trip.
That part I didn't mind because we were actually hunting, but we're just shed hunting. I don't really want to go up there and waste all that energy on shed hunting.
I'm open. I'm just doing it for just for an excuse to go camping up there, really.
Yeah.
And do a little scouting and just to be out in nature on the public land that we all have access to. That's isn't that awesome?
It's fantastic.
That 3,500 acres belongs to every single person in the country.
People don't
in
know.
The world.
People really don't know how much public land they are entitled to.
It's incredible, right?
It's their land.
Yeah.
They should go enjoy it.
I mean, this stupid song, "This land is our land."
But it is true. That's a true song.
Yeah, it's
your land. Go do something with it.
It's there. You're paying for it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's millions of acres just to hang out and just enjoy it.
I mean, I wouldn't go on it thinking you're entitled to it. But
no, don't treat it like it's only yours.
Yeah, just go respect the land and hunt the land. Do whatever you want on the land.
Walk it. Look for mushrooms. Look for birds.
Yeah.
Just take your kid and be like, this is what the real wild is like here in Missouri. This is where we live, and hike the beautiful terrain. I mean, some of those hills where we're at, when you get to see all the rolling hills and the beautiful trees and the grasses.
Fantastic. Just a beautiful landscape.
It's beautiful.
It was some of the best landscape I've seen in Missouri in a while.
Yeah.
And that's saying something, considering that we have the Ozarks, and that's beautiful down there.
I think I like it. I think, it's tough to pick which one's better, but I really like the rolling hills because you can see further.
Yes.
Instead of like the bigger hills that's thick with like conifers.
Timber, yeah.
Yeah.
Like down in the Ozarks, you can't see anything down there.
Yeah.
Like once the canopy's
thick.
Once the canopy's up, you don't see anything.
Thick. Yeah. But yeah, up there with the rolling, when you get to see a good distance, you get to see a couple valleys and peaks, and just it's really, really cool.
And that's a crazy thing between, like some of these guys that go out and do this for a living, like, Cam Haines and
Remy Warren, Adam Greentree.
All these guys go out and do this.
Tim Burnett.
Big elk hunting thing. It's so different.
In the western states.
It's completely different.
We've got it I would say.
I want to try it.
I definitely, I've done a smaller variation of that when I lived in South Dakota.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not elk. I've never gone elk hunting. I've never even seen an elk in the wild. But they were out there.
You haven't been to Tacoma?
Oh, that's not in the wild.
That's true.
But yeah, out in the wild. We did a deer camp once when I was younger with my dad and some of his friends in South Dakota. And one of the guys we were hunting with in deer camp said he saw an elk when he was hunting out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My dad shot a giant elk out there a few years ago.
Well, your dad shot just about everything.
Yeah. Yeah. But I never did see an elk out there, but I saw lots of other stuff. And you do get that western style hunt. But yeah, those guys.
Isn't that just weird the way it's so different? I mean, you're actually, a deer and an elk aren't that far off as far as species.
They're the same species, yeah. Venison,
But the way you hunt them is completely different.
Kind of, but not really. Maybe whitetail. Well,
that's what I'm talking about. Whitetail.
Okay.
Whitetail versus elk.
Because mule deer, you can hunt.
Mule deer, yeah, that's like an elk. You can hunt them like elk.
A little bit. Yeah, elk is kind of well, it depends on what time of year too. Like if you're hunting during the rut, when you're hunting during the rut, it's a little bit different than just, I think, normally hunting them. They say hunting them outside of the rut is pretty hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but then again, I think you're using a rifle, so.
What, like a black powder rifle or a real?
Like a high power rifle.
I'm
going to shoot you at 800 yards rifle.
Oh.
If I can, if I have the ability,
See, that just doesn't interest me.
It doesn't, but I don't discourage it.
I don't either, but it doesn't interest me personally.
Right?
I would rather just get right up on an animal. I want to hear it scream.
Oh yeah.
Like that elk screaming.
I could imagine. I could not imagine being in the. I mean, you see how kind of out in the nowhere we are in Missouri. Can you imagine being really out in the middle of nowhere in like
on a mountain,
Colorado or Utah or Idaho? I mean, literally. I mean, if you get in trouble, you need to have a helicopter get you out.
If you can get it. If you can get one.
If you can get one.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Could you imagine? I mean, that is like, at least here in Missouri when we're tree stand hunting whitetails, I'm 2 miles away from my truck.
Yeah.
I could crawl if something drastic happened.
Yeah. You could crawl your broken leg back to the truck.
Sort of. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't like sub-freezing temps with a bunch of snow on the ground.
Unless you got Ned Yoasted, then you couldn't.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He got his hip broke.
Yeah, that's right. Ugh. That
sounds nasty.
Because he didn't have his tree harness on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Always wear your tree harness.
Always practice safety. I mean, when you are out there, even if it is just 2 miles, which is further than you might think.
Hence the reason for a tree saddle.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're so addicted. You want one of those so bad you can taste
I
it.
do. Tree saddle's where it's at.
Probably.
I'm about to find out.
Oh, yeah?
Saddlehunters.com.
Man.
Go check it out. Classified section. That's where I've been living.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you on there all the time just hoping for that deal of a lifetime?
I'm waiting for that Kiesel. I'm going to snatch it up.
Yeah.
$200.
$200 ain't bad.
No.
Is that all you would have to spend, or how much more would you have to spend on top of that?
You'd have to buy steps.
Okay.
So unless you have some way to get up the tree, you would have to buy some way to get up the tree.
Okay. But you have to do with just about anything other than a climber.
Right. Those Muddy Pro sticks that Midwest Whitetail uses, those are the best.
Those are awesome.
Discontinued.
Have you looked recently?
Yes. I don't know why they discontinued them. I haven't heard a reason why.
Have you looked for a reason why?
No.
Well, that's why you haven't heard for a reason why.
But there's also, obviously the wolf sticks.
Lone wolf
sticks that work.
Yeah.
They got the button on the front, that you have to wind the rope around.
It's like that little S type.
Yeah.
Or it's
like
kind of like a DNA.
Button. Yeah.
Like a DNA sign.
Yes. And you wrap it around there and then you thread it back through.
Right.
But see, the Muddy Pros, you just wrap it around and lock it in. And you're done.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Those are awesome. I wish they still made them. I'd buy them in a second.
If they got rid of them, they have to have something comparable or even better.
You would think. I mean, those were probably the best-selling sticks they had. So why get rid of those other than you're going to upgrade them?
We just found ourselves a task.
Yeah.
We need to figure out. We need to get on it and investigate.
Yes.
Why did you get rid of these? Why did you get rid of this product? Do you hate money?
Do you hate your hunters?
Yeah. Do you just don't like making money? You're in this for the name recognition only, so you can talk to hunters that have a TV show, or what's your deal?
Yeah, that's weird because those things
they're awesome.
They're phenomenal. They're the best sticks on the market as far as weight and just ease of use. They look so easy.
They look awesome.
I wish I had a pair right now.
I'm sure you can find like a used pair or like I don't know. I'm sure someone's selling them somewhere.
No,
People who like money are selling them. Everything's for sale. Everything is for sale,
I'm sure
right?
they're $200 on eBay.
Yeah, how much were they normally?
$140.
So $60 to buy something that's discontinued that you'll never have again, that you'd have forever.
And some guy's probably beating the hell out of.
If he wants $200, he's not. He's taking care of it.
Maybe.
Well, then
you never know.
Then you don't buy them.
You never know what you're getting on eBay.
Well, that's why you look for like the seller feedback.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not Craigslist. This is legit. Don't man me. This is legit. This is seller feedback. They have reasonings for the way they do things. They have a system that's in place.
Yeah, I guess so. But those, if we could get some of those, I think, and the saddle harness would be the ultimate portability as far, out of town hunting trip. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
If I'm here at home on mom's farm,
hang a couple permanent stands.
Permanent stand, climbing stand.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah, absolutely.
But out of town, you don't want to lug a lot
public
of crap
land
around.
where you want to get back to where no one else is going, where you're hiking back there.
Saddle is the only way to go.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I do what I do before the season starts, because I know I'm lugging a lot of weight 2 miles back over that terrain.
That's a long ways too.
But that's part, like you were saying, you like a challenge, which is why you like the bow hunting.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my challenge too. Like I love, like it gives me so many things to do before the season even starts. Like, okay, in my mind, I know that I'm hunting public land and I'm going to go 2 miles back over hilly, rough terrain.
Right.
Getting back there, no problem. Okay, now you got to get back there with your tree stand, which is 20 pounds?
20, yeah. The one you got.
Mine, yeah, 20 pounds plus your bow, which is 7 pounds, plus heavy boots.
Whatever else you carry in.
And then your backpack, which is...
Say 7 pounds.
7 pounds. So you're looking at 34, 40 pounds of extra weight that you're taking back 2 miles. And so I not only are you doing that, but then you have to think, like, doing that's not that hard. But then you're like, you know what, if I am successful and I shoot something,
that's a long drag.
You have to take the deer out now.
Well, tell them, you did it by yourself 2 years ago.
I did. Yeah, that was one heck of a day.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that was the first day that my first day out there. So yeah, like 2 years ago, I went to the same place where I took him this year. And the first day I went out there, I was just under 2 miles, like probably 1.65 miles. Mm-hmm. Back there, and at like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, I was up there for about 4 days. I think 4 days is what my trip was. The very first day, a doe came within 10 yards of me, and I was like, all right, I'm taking whatever. I'm bow hunting. If you're bow hunting, you take whatever opportunity you can. If it's brown, it's down. Yeah. I'm not out there looking for just a giant buck.
No, you want to fill your freezer.
I want meat. Yeah. I'm out there because I love to eat meat. Yeah. I love to eat the deer. It's delicious. And so shot it. It was 10 yards away. Killed it. It was a doe. And so that's when the real work begins. Mm-hmm. I was all by myself.
Camping by yourself.
Camping by myself. Hunting by myself. Everything completely all alone. Which, again, the same reason you like bow hunting for the challenge, I like it too. Mm-hmm. Like the more challenging, like I love.
And by
it.
yourself, what a challenge is that? I mean, that's the ultimate challenge.
It's so, I can't explain it. It's just so like beautiful. Like the word is beautiful to me. It's just a beautiful thing. Like the entire experience. It's just.
And every time you ate that deer, you thought about that journey that you went through. Yeah,
you really do. With every bite, you just sit back. You just think.
I worked my ass off for this deer,
and I'm very thankful for the deer too. Yeah. That it died for me, and I was able to feed myself, and and my friends. Like I gave a lot of that stuff away. But yeah, so I killed it. Clean, perfect shot. It didn't suffer at all. This deer had no idea what happened. No idea.
Clueless.
It had no idea. I was 15 feet up in a tree with a silent bow. It came within 10 yards of me. Didn't know I was up there. Silent arrow. Whoosh, right through the lungs.
Done.
It ran off, ran about 30 yards, and then came right back towards me.
Perfect.
If this thing knew exactly what happened or what was going on, it would have ran right back to where it came from.
Right.
It just knew something happened, but oh my gosh, I heard a big noise, something happened, I feel a little pain, and then it just fell down, fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, it did run right back to me. That saved me. Yeah. And when you're over almost 2 miles back, 100 yards saves you a nice chunk.
Yeah, definitely.
And when I shot it, you're just exhilarated, you're super pumped, you're excited, like. And then it sets in. It sets in. You're like,
I gotta try
this just got real. This just got real.
I've got to clean
I cannot leave this. I can't leave it here. No. Number one, I'm out here for it. Number two, it's illegal. I mean, I want it. I want the meal, but
you gotta clean it.
Were you prepared for this? Is this what you wanted? You're about to find out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said to myself.
You're about to find out.
You're about to find out this, and that's where you check your integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I would venture to say, a weak human being would be like, nobody's out here. Nobody saw me kill this thing. I thought this is what I wanted, but I have to take this thing out of the woods now. I could see someone saying, nothing to see here. Nothing happened.
You don't think somebody would leave? Just leave it
It's
there?
not out of the realm of possibility in my mind.
A hunter? A real hunter wouldn't do that.
I think a weak, maybe like a newer hunter. Like someone who's kind of not... I'm not saying you would at all, but someone who just got into it this year, and then they went out there and they were all by
themselves.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They didn't go up there like you went out there with me, but if someone brand new went out there all by themselves...
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not saying...
Going through their head, going, yeah.
I'm not even saying I would justify. I would think that's a piece of shit human. Like,
right.
But I can see how that would happen. So then it becomes real. So I let my nerves calm down.
Did you sit up in the stand for a while?
A little bit, but she died so close to me. I knew she was dead. I didn't have to sit there and wait for it to die. I mean, it was a perfect shot. And I actually, what I did is I sat there and I let my nerves calm down. And I was also like, it's during the rut. That was a doe. Mm-hmm. Maybe a buck is following her. You never know. So I waited. It wasn't a super loud commotion. Like, she died within... It took less than a minute for her.
There wasn't all kinds of kicking and...
But, I mean, there wasn't... She just ran and then ran back and then fell down and died. Mm. So it wasn't like a loud... a bunch of noises, a bunch of running to where it would scare the whole woods.
Right.
So I was like... Maybe there's a hot buck that was following her, chasing her, and then I'll have a shot at this one too. Because you can shoot multiple deer with your tags.
You got the tags.
Yeah. So I waited for just a little bit, and then I was like, all right, well, nothing was right behind her. Let's not waste the day, and let's do the real work.
Yeah, that is the real work.
So I collected myself. I was super pumped. I mean, I was so excited. I was like, I did it. Like... All the work paid, like...
Hell yes.
I've never been up to this place before. It's 3,500 acres. I've never been there before. I only looked on maps, and I found a place that I wanted to go, and I picked it out. And then early in the morning, in the dark, I picked out a tree that was the perfect tree and location. All of that work paid off to have a doe come within 10 yards of me.
Now, was this in the same area that you... We're hunting this when we went?
Sort of, but we went even further than where I went last year.
Oh, okay.
We went just slightly further, maybe quarter mile further back.
So you maybe had a mile and a half trek.
Yeah. It was
still a long ways by yourself.
It was a mile and a half. So then I went down and climbed down the tree with my stuff, gutted it out, and then dragged it to that trail. You know the trail? Mm-hmm. Dragged it there a couple 100 yards. She was a big doe. I mean, she weighed a lot. It was a big animal.
Nice.
Dragged her out, and then left her there, and then went and grabbed my tree stand, my bow, and my backpack, and walked back to my truck with that stuff, and left the deer in the trail.
Okay.
And then so went a mile and a half back to the truck.
Took all your stuff back.
Took all my stuff back there. And then I had a different kind of backpack that was really big, like a rucksack that could fit a lot of, fit basically a deer in it. So then I hiked all the way back to where the deer was, and that's when I skinned it and quartered it. You know, took the legs off, the hind legs off, the tenderloins, and then I put those in garbage bags. And then I put that in my rucksack thing, put that on, and then hiked it all the way back out.
So you didn't take the whole deer out?
No, I just took all the meat out.
You just field dressed the deer and then took it out of there.
All I left was the hide, the guts, and the head.
Nice.
And I took all the meat.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and it wasn't a light load.
I'm sure it wasn't.
It was, you know.
And this was your first day there.
My first day there.
So you spent all day doing this, and then
a few hours, but not like all day. Like you
spent a majority of the day doing it.
Kind of. It doesn't take as long as you think.
Well, by the time you were done, you were done.
No. By the time I got that hiked back to my truck, then I went back to the campsite, same place where we were at, mile and a half or whatever it is. Dropped everything off there. Then I went into town to Walmart to go get some I called my dad, the big hunter, and I said, "What do I do now? Like, should I just go back home? Like, I'm here for another few days."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, go get some ice," and I didn't have like a big cooler. I'm not made of money, man. I don't have a lot of money to go buy like a fancy cooler, like a big
Yeti,
150-gallon Yeti, or even just a Coleman that costs like a couple $100s. I just didn't have the money at that time.
Right.
So he said, just go to Walmart and get a bunch of ice and it's like some cardboard boxes. So I went to Walmart, which is like 45 minutes away, like into town. I have to go into town.
Right.
I'm going into town, Ma. What you need? So I went all the way in town, and then it was hell trying to find just some cardboard boxes. Finally, luckily it's in a tiny little town, and so you get small town folks who are like super willing to help. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
That's what they're there for. You gotta love small town mentality.
Yeah.
Midwestern small town mentality.
Yes.
They said, "Oh, don't worry, honey. We'll get you a couple. How big do you need?" I was like, "As big as you got."
Mm-hmm.
So they brought out a couple big cardboard boxes for me, and then I bought some ice from them, and then took that back up to my campsite, and it was big enough to put the deer in. So I put ice down, and then I put the deer down, all the meat, and then put ice on top of it again. And luckily it was cool enough that it was fine. Like, it wasn't super hot where the meat was going to spoil.
Right.
And so I just stayed there again for the next 3 days and continue hunting.
So it was good for 3 days?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I brought it home and butchered it myself.
That's perfect.
But doing that and the packing it out, which was like, I think I did like 6 miles of hiking with weight that day. And then went into town, did all that stuff. I still had time to go hunting that evening.
No way.
Not a lot, maybe like, I think I had an hour and a half or 2 hours. And I went to a completely different part where it was going to be super easy. I wasn't going to do that again.
Yeah.
I wasn't about to go 2 miles back and do all that.
No.
I was like, nope. I'm just going to like screw around. It was basically like, I'm here. I need to take advantage of my time up in this beautiful country. And I'm just going to go to a random spot that I pointed out on the map a couple weeks ago just to check out. And it was like, just a few 100 yards off the road.
Those are perfect.
Yeah. And so I went out there and had a really close encounter with a buck. Could have shot it if it was legal, but it wasn't.
3 points?
Might have just even been 4. 2 on each side.
Oh.
Like a little, I think it was just a fork, but he came within like 15 yards of me. Just bounced. Do.
Yeah.
But I had to get out there. So, but yeah. So you were saying, that is hard to do. Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
It was all worth it. And then again, like you were saying, every time you take a bite of that animal, it's anyone can go to the store and buy a T-bone.
Sure.
Oh,
you don't know where that comes from, but it's good. It's
gosh.
Delicious.
I love a T-bone.
Oh, who doesn't?
A fillet and a strip.
Phenomenal. But you didn't butcher it.
You don't know anything about it. You just know
you didn't kill it.
You just know it's delicious, and you don't even think about how hard you worked to pay for that. Like,
no.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about 1 hour I spent at work to pay for this delicious meal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying the meal. It's delicious, but it's not like there's no memories attached to it.
None. There's no emotional.
But it's delicious. And sometimes you can create emotional ties to it if you have a cool night with that. Yeah. Like if it's a cool date with some.
Sure, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you shoot a deer and do all the hard work, and then you cook it up every time, it's amazing. It's like you can explain it and you can grasp the concept, but until you actually do it.
That's what I'm excited about.
I'm excited for you for that too.
I'm excited for the whole food plot idea that I'm out there feeding the deer, taking care of the deer, making sure the herd is in good shape. There's no CWD. There's no anything wrong with these deer, and I'm out there taking care of it, and I'm gonna get my deer.
Hopefully, you're gonna harvest.
Yeah.
A couple deer and put and feed your family, your friends.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
you get a lot of. You're not going to eat all. You could easily eat whatever you get. However many 60. Let's say you get 50 to 60 pounds of meat on like a medium-sized whitetail.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat. You could eat that all easily.
Sure.
But
it's fun giving it away.
It's so great giving it away.
Sure. That's half the fun.
That's a lot of it's a big part of it.
Absolutely.
You can't sell it, but it feels good to give that stuff away. Because if you think about it, it's one of the rarest meats there are in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Easily accessible. Anybody can go get it.
They could, but they don't.
Right.
So that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Yeah. But think about how rare that is.
It is rare, and you notice you don't get very many people say, no, that's okay. I don't want any of that. No, I'm good.
Not many. There's a few.
You don't get very many of them.
Yeah, you really don't.
And the ones that you do, they've never tried it.
Or they tried it and the person that they tried it from was a horrible cook and they made it really poorly. Yeah. Oh, I don't like it. It's too gamey. It doesn't taste well. Yeah.
Gamey.
So you probably just didn't have it probably just wasn't cooked right. If you overcook deer, it tastes bad. It's like real irony and just like liver. It tastes like liver. Yeah. It's not good. But if you know how to cook it,
like those Rogan Instagrams.
Those posts. Oh my gosh.
Where he cooks that elk.
Oh, yeah.
That looks so good.
Oh my god, with the jalapenos and the avocado.
It's just right on point.
I'm so hungry right now.
Perfect.
Oh.
He cooks that up and puts those jalapenos and those delicious onions. Oh
man, that'll make you want to hunt. That'll make a non-hunter a hunter, I would think. Some of those posts.
Unless you're a fan of PETA.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Those people are a little out there, anyways.
Well, yeah.
I get it.
You know,
they love animals. They don't understand the circle of life. But
no.
I get it.
No. But that's what we should do is have a politics talk on here one time.
No, I'm good. Politics aren't really my strong suit. I don't. I'm not a big fan of the politics.
Mm-hmm. But saddle hunting. Let's talk about saddle hunting.
I don't know anything about saddle hunting.
Well, I don't know a lot. I just know I want to try one.
Yeah.
And that's you can't really go out and try a saddle hunter or like a saddle.
Yeah.
You have to buy one really to try it.
You can't do it with anything. You can't really try a climber until you buy it.
That's true.
I guess I guess enough people you can borrow that kind of stuff from people.
Well, not only that, you can buy the climber from Bass Pro, and then if you don't like it, you just take it back.
Yeah.
You can't take back a saddle.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, you can send it back. Anything you buy in America can be sent back and returned for your money.
Well, I guess you probably could, but
yeah,
it's probably a hassle.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. But if you want your $300-400 back, you're probably going to go through a hassle.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, well,
I'll go through a hassle for $50.
Yeah.
So give me.
Yeah, that probably would too. A little bit of a hassle,
right?
Probably not a lot of a hassle, but
it's $50, man. It's a lot of money to me. Any money.
That's the plan for next year, anyways. I'm going to try the saddle hunter. Actually, I'm going to buy it in the spring from Texas, and then I'm going to go ahead and try it.
You going to try it for turkey hunting?
Yeah, I'd love to.
I think your parents' land's going to be good for turkey.
It should, as long as we feed it, as long as we put the food plot
I think even without turkeys like those big open fields to strut their stuff early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
We just hit that edge up, put a couple decoys out there. Yeah. There won't be any soybeans out there. It'll just be a grassy field probably.
Yeah, it'll just be an empty field.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
It'll come out there. Yeah.
And I think down there with the bean field, I think is a good spot as far as like creek crossings, because the creek runs the whole length of the soybean field.
Yeah.
So I think creek crossings, if we can do some hinge cuts in there this summer, and limit the spots that they can cross, I think it'll be a big help too.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a fun year hunting this year.
Yeah, and we can come up here to your property up here and do some stuff on it. Maybe put a food plot in.
Yeah.
That's ideal, man.
Yeah, they were the landowner was talking about doing hiring someone out there to just hedge cut everything and making the field. You haven't been out there before, but there's a giant field that's just it hasn't been taken care of, and it's overgrown. It's like
it's kind of
nipple high. It's like nipple high, like thick grass type stuff. Like
okay.
Like hard. It's not like grass, but it's like a different. I don't even know, prairie grass, like a prairie grass. It's like nipple high. It's hard to go through, and when it gets dry, oops, sorry. When it gets high, it's like hard to get through and everything.
Yeah.
So he's gonna hedge cut that and flatten it all out. So it'll be.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. And then there's still a lot of woods lined up, but.
Did he say you could plant a food plot out there? Or?
Didn't say I couldn't.
Well, I don't know how he would know if you did it. You just put radishes in or
they would,
turnips.
Yeah, he won't care. I can do whatever I want out there. Pretty sure. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get out there with like a chainsaw, and there's like cut some of those small, like 3-inch diameter young saplings. Yeah, get those out. So have some shooting lanes and some traveling lanes, and get them out.
Definitely.
Yeah, you don't want them out there knocking your arrows around and making it hard entry and exits walking in there.
It's amazing if you look at new growth of just the land. Like if you just had like an empty field, barren field, and you just let it go, the new growth that comes on that field is so intense as far as as many trees as in one place. Like that spot on my mom's bean field down there.
Oh, yeah. The new stuff.
The new stuff is so just tightly compacted in there.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't think that any deer could get in there, but they do.
Right.
They do.
Oh, yeah. The big smart ones do.
It's heaven in there to them.
Yeah. Nice and cozy. Yeah. Like a warm blanket on a cold winter night.
Exactly right. Because it's jam-packed full of those little saplings in there.
Right.
And those deer are just thick as thieves in that place.
Yeah.
But good luck getting in there.
Good luck getting them. Good luck. Even if you do get them to see them, you're not getting a shot in there.
No. No. There's no way in hell.
Nope. Flamethrower like on Fortnite. Well, that's what they need. Fortnite needs a flamethrower. Yeah.
Don't get me started on Fortnite.
No, we're done with that. We can't go on a tangent. Hey, I was just looking at the antler here.
Oh yeah.
This we found up on our trip, everybody. If you can.
Yeah.
This was if I had I knew I should have hooked it up. This was on a dead deer that I found on the first day up there. Pretty good size. We were going to just we did chop the head off.
Yeah, we did.
And we were going to boil it down and make a really cool mount. But then when our neighbor was doing that, and I was looking at how hard and all the work it was.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to do that with just a deer I found.
No.
If it was something that I shot and it was my trophy, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
He was out there all day boiling it.
Every day. Like 2 days. For 2 days. Boiling it. You got to poke it and clean it and just scrape it and stuff.
Yeah, he didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. It's like a gross stew.
I was like, ooh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Get that smelly shit out.
Yeah, it does stink.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that with something we found, so.
No. Who knows how long it was rotten anyway.
I don't think that long. I think it was pretty fresh.
Yeah, it was decently fresh.
It was pretty fresh.
I wouldn't want to put it in a vat of boiling water.
No, me neither. So we took an axe that we were using for all our firewood for that trip and just chopped off the antlers. I gave him one, and then I kept the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty cool. And this other one I found just in South Dakota, shed hunting.
Oh, that's a shed find?
Yep.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Heck, we could just go out to Jucomo and go shed hunting if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
But who wants to do that? I want to go up where the big boys are.
I want I want some big antlers.
Yeah.
I just want the experience of getting out of town. The other cool thing about camping in the middle of nowhere is the stars in the sky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Phenomenal.
You don't get that around a city or a town even. You have to be in the middle of nothing. Just
I feel sorry for big city people as far as
ones that never go out and experience that kind of stuff. It's sad.
You could never get out and look at nature like we do.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the big draws too for hunting. Is just being out where hardly anybody else does, and people miss out on that experience.
Oh yeah.
Like just not the hunting. Don't even go out there and hunt. Just go out there and enjoy.
Just go out and walk. Just go out and walk in nature.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
It is. Yeah. Spend the night. Like, do a real camping. Don't do this car camping where you go to some local lake that's 20 minutes out of the city where everybody goes and parks next to their tent.
Right.
I mean, we kind of did that, but we're in the middle of nowhere. Like,
right.
It's not the same.
No.
It's completely different.
No.
There's not many. Usually not that many people up there.
45 minutes away.
Right. Like that Walmart's 45 minutes away, and that's the only thing in that town.
Yeah.
With a gas station and like a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not usual camping. We're talking usual camping as in go down to, your local campground and spend the night.
Right.
That's not the camping we're talking about.
No, that's just sleeping outside.
Yeah.
You're not going to see cool stars.
No.
I mean, you're not going to get a chance to really.
You got to get out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
To where there's no city lights. No
light pollution at all.
Right. And they're just so bright.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah. We got to get out there for the shed hunt and just get out there. Definitely. Hopefully we hear back. Have you heard back if you got off for that day?
No.
Let's hound them. Let's hound them tomorrow or Tuesday and say, hey, did we get it? And then.
What is it, next weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we definitely.
We'd have to be leaving Sunday morning-ish. And then we'll come back Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we were planning on trying to go up to the same place we went hunting and look for antler sheds. Sheds are, deer drop their antlers every single year and regrow them the following, fall, late summer, whatever. So we want to go up there and look for antlers that fell and also just go on the property, on the land that we hunt just to kind of familiarize ourselves with it and to kind of check. Just kind of scout what else. Like, it's 3,500 acres.
Oh, we didn't even get anywhere near close to that.
We didn't touch it.
No.
I mean, yeah, I went 2 miles back, but it was on a direct line. It was a direct one path that I took every time. And there's just literally thousands of acres that we haven't looked at. And it'd be cool to check it out because there's got to be so many good spots to go hunting back there.
There's a lot of land that backs up to like guides property.
Oh yeah, that outfitters property. Yeah.
Properties.
Yeah.
A lot of land up there that backs up to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say there's probably a third of it that backs up to outfitters' lands.
Yeah. Wow.
And that they probably just feed the crap out of those deer.
Yep.
On their land.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's high fence or not, but
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either, but.
You don't find many of those around here.
No, not a lot.
I mean, they're around, but I think they're more rare than they are. Uh-oh.
Not a lot of high fence.
Yeah. So anyways, we were thinking about doing that, and if we do, we'd probably do a podcast from there while we do it inside the tent.
Absolutely.
So.
From the old.
From the yurt.
From the Atkins tent.
From Atkins yurt tent that he's. So we haven't asked permission yet, but. We think he'll give it to us. Hopefully, if not, we'll figure it out. Yeah, yeah. Look at Atkins. We're asking you. Yeah. So, Barnard, I want to do. I nicknamed him Barnard Shooter, Ryan Shooter Barnard, because I can't call him Killer.
No, you cannot.
He shot, but he did not kill.
So Shooter's it.
Shooter's it. You want to promote any Instagram or Facebook
No, I don't have anything.
Dude, thank you so much for being on episode 2
I appreciate it.
Of Neandertalk podcast.
We can come on and talk hunting anytime you want.
Absolutely. Good. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was cool for your first podcast experience.
Fantastic.
It was a lot of fun for me.
It was fun.
Good. And it was a blast for me too. So
I hope Neandertalk does well for you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
I do too.
Yeah, I do too.
If not, it's fun to do.
Yeah. Well, it is fun.
It is fun, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Get on here and talk about memories. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. yeah, so thank you guys for listening or viewing or however you receive this. And I'll see you guys on episode 3 with who knows what we'll be talking about. But have a good day, everybody.